X-Men Legends, a prologue. The first flakes of winter fluttered down on a biting breeze. Betsy Braddock, trademarked, stepped out onto her balcony and stared up at the charcoal New York City skyline in wonderment. Where had all the stars gone? There was no moonlight glow, casting long shadows along the rooftops this night. There were, however, enough falling stars to answer the wishes of every child in Midtown Manhattan. She had been awakened by a terrible nightmare that the city had gone mad. Screams of terror lingered and seemed to echo in her head. No, those weren't echoes in her head at all. Those screams were real. Fires burned down on 34th Street. Somewhere nearby, a car screeched and slammed into the side of a building. A female voice cried out in the darkness, mingling with cries of glee and screams of anguish. And in the next moment, like the last rays of moonlight, Betsy, the woman now known as Psylocke, trademarked, was gone, lost among the embers and city lights below. This was not how anyone thought it would look, least of all the X-Men, trademark. Just then, Betsy's apartment shook as a large shadow the length of 5 cars passed 2 stories beneath, through the darkness of night. What was already a dark sky was darkened further by dozens of mechanized beasts flying above. The mutant hunting sentinels swarm, circling about like vultures, waiting to feast in the streets below. Several blocks away, a car exploded, rocking the street and sending bodies flailing to the ground like dominoes. The joints of a 50-foot steel behemoth creaked as it rose above the city lights and awnings in the middle of the 6-lane street. A small girl hunched over a doll crouched behind a car, screaming for her mother. Mutant DNA identified. Prime objective, terminate. A pair of inhuman eyes the size of street lamps glared from above and glowed with white-hot fury. Just then, a large gloved hand grabbed the child like a doll and lifted her onto the massive shoulders of a mighty, metallic-skinned mutant. Out of the shadows of the X-Jet, a ruby quartz visor burned fiery hot, and almost instantly 6 razor-sharp adamantium claws extended, reflecting the monster's yellowish gaze. Not tonight, Bob. And that was the prologue story to X-Men Legends, which takes place roughly 2/3 into the game, but really sets the scene of what Psylocke was doing in the middle of New York.